Okay, so what if is a whole lot different from if only. Now, this is what came to me. If only we would do the things that we said we would do, that we know to do, or that we expect others to do, our lives would be a whole lot different and possibly a whole lot better for it. So I view what if as a hypothetical, not actually something that you're going to work on, but it's like throwing out ideas and concepts that are, they can be concrete, but it's like you really haven't made them your own. So you're just sort of brainstorming. But I'd like to say, if only, because that is a call to action. If only I would execute the plans that I made in the beginning of the year, most of my goals would probably be met by the end of the year. But what happens? We might come up with a great idea, make a statement of what we would like to happen, and then a lot of times it just gets pushed to the back burner and we do nothing or very, very, very little. Or either we just get distracted and let other things get in the way. But if only we would keep our focus and do the big things that we said we're going to do, we would begin to actually work on our dreams and make our dreams come true. So do you see how that goes together? If only you would work on your biggest dream that you stated you have, then your dreams would come true. Do you get that? So, what do you think about that? I personally have so many inventions and business ideas, um, and lots of times in the past they have just stayed inside of my little journal or on a sheet of paper that I've been compiling, and I was hoping to work on them one day when I have this or have that, or when things are right, when you know when people are cooperating. But guess what? I decided to work on something with intention. When I first moved to Springfield, Massachusetts, um, it was very, it was starting over, of course. And so most things were in process. So, there were the beginning stages of every single thing. And so one thing couldn't happen without the next happening, pretty much. But I decided, well, let me just go ahead and work on one of the inventions that I've created. That's what I said to myself. If I'm going to be here, if I can't rush things, I can't make people do things in a fashion that I think they should be done, I might as well be making progress on something. So what I did was I started developing the product that I wanted to work on, and so it actually left the paper and became an item, an object that I actually focused on developing, creating, and utilizing. And so that actually, and now it is a product. Um, I'm looking for a manufacturer. Most of the production of the product I could handle myself, but I want to do it on a larger scale. So I have the prototype, I have the how much it costs per item, and and I'm looking for someone who could actually distribute it. So that was an example of how uh, what if turns into if only, and it actually produces some results. So it's a lot further along than it was before. I actually have the thing that I envisioned and imagined, and it's actually a tangible product right now. So I don't really like to say what if, because it's like it's just brainstorming and no one is taking it as a challenge or a call to action. But if I ask you or tell you, if only you would do what you said you were going to do to reach your goal. So if you know that you want to lose 10 pounds and you said, I'm going to diet, I'm going to the gym, but you do neither of the two. If only you would go to the gym, even if you do it 3 times a week for 30 minutes each time, your body and your mind would feel so much better, and you would be in better shape in both ways, mentally and physically. If only you would just do that. So you have to be your own motivator. And this is a call to action and to challenge you. What are the things that you said you want to do? Or just start with one. And most times, whenever you get an idea, would probably work and would be a solution to many of your problems, or at least the one you're trying to figure out. The thing is that we have all these ideas, but we don't work on them lots of times. They just sit on like a sticky note inside of a book, or
I just thought of something. I just thought of something to say. The answer to your dreams is already sitting in a journal someplace.
Exactly. Because that is your dream. That's your dream, but it only takes one step to start working on your dream. You see? The answer to whatever your dreams, your biggest dream, you already have it. You've already been thinking about it probably most of your life. You already know the type of life you want. You already know the type of work you want to do. So you already have identified your biggest dream. But if only you would take one step towards it. So if only you would gather all of your artwork. Say, for instance, if you are an artist and you have all this artwork and you just put it in the closet, hide it under the bed or whatever. If only you would gather all of your pieces of artwork, put them in one place, and set them up for presentation. You suddenly have a gallery. Do you see that? You have a gallery. Now, it doesn't matter if the gallery is in your living room, your basement, your garage. You now have an art gallery that you can take pictures of. You can post to any social media you want. You can actually print copies of it and create a portfolio. You can invite people to view your artwork inside of your garage or your living room. And now you have generated at least a fan base. Create a decent presentation for your artwork. And then offer one of them for sale and see what happens. That right there, just the success of someone buying one of your pieces of art can motivate you and encourage you and inspire you to clean up more of them and offer those for sale, or to send them to the local museum or art museum, or wherever, any place that offers that type of viewing setting. But that's just art. There's so many other things that we can do. I believe in promoting people's natural gifts and abilities, and I believe that if only people would do what they were gifted from a very young age to do, that would take care of most of their financial needs. Because I believe that your gift will make room for you. That means your gifts that come naturally to you, that you can do with very little effort. It takes very little time for you, and you have the ability to do it. Then I can identify that as a natural gift or ability, even if it's a talent that you've developed over time. If you can do in 1 hour what it would take for most people to do in 6 hours or 2 days or 3 days, then I feel strongly that you are gifted in that area, because it comes effortlessly and you have gotten it down to an art and a science. Why don't you start there? If you have a gift of, speaking to people, encouraging others, that can turn into a coaching business, a motivational speaking business. What is it that you do naturally very well that people have always reached out to you as a resource for? Like I do. I know I have a few people usually come to me for advice. And I'm very resourceful. So I know how to do things. I know how to find answers to things. And most things I have experience with. And so I'm a very good resource for others, And from a very young age, I've just been endowed with answers and wisdom in many different areas that I didn't seek the information on. It's just a knowing. And that's a gift. And so that's one way you can identify what your gift is, what your natural, what your purpose is. Actually, so many people don't know what their purpose is, or they struggle. But I would say go back to your childhood. Go back to the things that came so naturally to you that you could sit down and just knock it out so easily. And it's just effortlessly done. And people come to you for it. They come to you for advice about it. Start there. That's how you know what your purpose is. Whatever comes naturally to you, people come to you for it. They look at you as a resource for that thing. And you've been doing it since you were a child. If you could focus on doing those things and offering them to a community of people who have the need, then there you have your purpose and your business all rolled into one. What do you say? Nothing?
The piece that really hit home in what you just said is looking back on your childhood. Because I realized that if I had total freedom of time, didn't have to worry about working, money, none of that, there's certain things that I would want to spend my time with, spend my time doing. And just about all of them are things I did in childhood. I'd want to make sure that I can go back and do martial arts. I want to finish that black belt that I literally got one test away from. I'd want to exercise, swim, bike, run. I've always been also somebody that people talk to and listen to. So, I've always had an interest in teaching, and I've always had an interest in money and finance. So you add all those things together, and all of those things are what the circle is. And the circle for me is everything that I want to do wrapped up into one, and it happens to be all things that I did in childhood. So yeah, that was the piece of what you said that really hit home the most.
And so exactly, I want to share with the viewers. Okay, most of them know that we are twin flames, but I want to show how parallel your lives can be with someone else's. A few years ago, well, actually around 10, 11, 12 years ago, I named my business Dreams Come True. Like I have a federal tax ID number and a limited LLC company, and the name of it is Dreams Come True. And I met Okolo only a year ago. And when I met him, he had all these flyers that I saw. And what's the name of your business? And on these flyers,
Circle Fitness.
what's your biggest
Oh, what is your biggest dream? Yeah.
dream? And so anyway, so both of us are focused on living out our dream, being able to enjoy nature, staying physically fit, constantly, well, we're both teachers by nature. I've been a teacher since a very young age. And I worked as a training and development specialist. That's like teaching all human resource courses to managerial level employees of a company. And so that's what I've done as a profession. And in all of my life, I've always had quotes and sayings and things that help people. And people who, even if people are in a higher position than I am, for some reason they still seek my help and my guidance and my encouragement. These people call me at night. They call me all out of nowhere. Like I might not hear from them for days. We don't run in the same circle, but still they reach outside of their circle to get my insight and my viewpoints on what they should do. And this has been going on from a very, very, very young age. So that's why I already know that I need to be in the coaching, teaching, inspirational field. And I've been a writer for a very long time. I've done engagements at churches and book signings where I was a speaker, And so, and a lot of times you might also feel like the things that you want to do, that you're gifted in doing, sometimes you might feel like you're not more as equipped as you would like to be, or somebody's more equipped than you. But you know what? It's meant for you to just go ahead and start wherever you are. Don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about who's more equipped than you, who's more educated than you, because this is your own personal life journey. You have to do this on your own for yourself. And not that you won't have any help, but you were you came here to this dimension, this universe, this time and space to do a certain thing and to live out a certain mission and purpose. And you can't not do what you're here to do because you feel like someone else is already doing it. You have a certain unique quality that you're going to bring to the table, even if you're doing the exact same thing as someone else. You are uniquely special, and you have qualities that the world needs. People are waiting for you to become active and do what it is that you were gifted to do. They're famished. It's like a hunger that can't be filled by anyone else, because it's your personal contribution to the world. That's what you're supposed to do. So even if I have the same exact business as someone else, I can have my own niche or my own, it's something that, an energy that only I can bring. And it doesn't matter how many other people operate under the same energy or similar energy. You can only get what I have by me giving it. So I cheat the world of me and what I have to offer by sitting on my gifts and abilities. What motivates one person and who motivates one person might not motivate them all. So this is a call to action. If only you would get up and do the things that you can do, you would be working on your biggest dream, and you would feel so much more, it's like so much more rewarding to do things that you love to do, and your dreams will come true. How about that?